Yo, this is King of the Road Trucking. I may not sound like a king, but trust me, the truck bows when I start it, and today we're digging into how for the last, what, decade, the truck sim world has pretty much been ruled by two absolute legends, American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator 2. These games have given us millions of miles of open road, countless deliveries, and let us build entire trucking empires from scratch. Their time at the top has been long and, let's be real, pretty awesome. But in the gaming world, no throne is ever safe for long, and it looks like a new challenger is barreling down the interstate. Hooked sometime in 2026, a brand new contender is hitting the scene. It's called Road Kings, and it's not just showing up to compete. It looks like it's aiming to really shake things up. So, the big question is, do the old kings still have what it takes to keep their crowns? Or is this newcomer about to cause the biggest shakeup the genre has ever seen? Today, we're going to break down the driving physics, the world design, and the career modes of all three of these titans to see who really deserves to be called the king of the road. Let's dive in. Look, the heart and soul of any driving sim is the feel, right? It's all about that connection you have with the massive rig you're trying to control. This is where the fight really starts, and our contenders could not be more different. First up, American Truck Simulator. This game is all about that raw, heavy American muscle. The trucks, especially those classic Kenworths and Peterbilts, feel genuinely heavy. You feel that satisfying lag when you hit the gas, and a real sense of weight you have to fight against when you brake. When you take a corner, you can feel the chassis flex and the weight shift around. You're not just driving a truck, you're wrestling with a massive, powerful machine. The physics really shine on those wide open highways, making you respect just how huge your rig is. It's a game of patience and pure power. Then, you've got Euro Truck Simulator 2. And if ATS is a heavyweight boxer, ETS 2 is more like a fencer. The handling is way more precise, more nimble, and it has to be. You're trying to navigate tight roundabouts in France, squeeze through narrow city streets in Germany, and snake down winding country lanes with zero room for error. The engines on the modern Scania and Volvo trucks feel smoother, more responsive. This game asks for a totally different skill. It's less about wrestling with weight and more about mastering precision. Every little input matters, and the real satisfaction comes from perfectly navigating a tricky, crowded road. It's less about raw power and more about your technical skill. And then we have the new challenger, Road Kings. Now, this is being made by Sabre Interactive and published by Focus Entertainment. And if you've ever played SnowRunner, you know these guys are serious about physics. They're taking that expertise and bringing it to the highway. They're aiming for a super deep simulation where everything from your brake wear and tire condition to your engine's torque really matters. But they're also adding a layer of cinematic drama. The devs have shown off a world where you'll face unpredictable hazards and seriously dangerous weather. Just imagine hauling a critical load while you're fighting the wheel in a crazy storm, or finding out your route is completely blocked because of some disaster. Road Kings is promising a world where the road itself is a character, and a lot of the time, it's not a friendly one. It's a bold idea, blending that hardcore realism with some heart-pounding tension. If they can pull it off, it could totally redefine what we expect from driving physics. A truck's no good without a world to drive in, and this is where you can really see the different ideas behind these games. American Truck Simulator just gives you this incredible sense of scale. It's a total love letter to the great American road trip. When you're hauling a load from the deserts of Nevada, up through the mountains of Montana, and down to the plains of Texas, you really feel it. The long, unbroken stretches of highway can be an almost meditative experience. The scenery is so immersive, it's designed to make you feel like you're on a real long-haul journey. Honestly, no other game sells that fantasy of the lonely, romantic open road like ATS does. Euro Truck Simulator 2, on the other hand, swaps all that open space for density. Europe is this patchwork of countries and cultures, and ETS 2 just nails this feeling. You're never far from the next town, toll booth, or border crossing with its own unique traffic laws. It's a constant, engaging puzzle you have to solve. One minute you're flying down a German Autobahn, the next you're stuck in the chaotic ring road around Paris. This density means there's always something new happening, always something to manage. The real appeal of ETS2 is feeling like you're a key part of a busy, living continent. Road Kings is going for something different. Instead of a whole continent, they're zooming in on a super detailed slice of the American South for the launch, specifically the area between Jacksonville, Florida, and Savannah, Georgia. The goal isn't to be the biggest, but to have the most environmental depth and reaction. This is where you can see that Sabre Interactive experience shine. They're building a world that can fight back with dynamic weather and disaster strikes, that can create real, on-the-fly hazards. The route you planned 10 minutes ago might not even exist anymore. This basically turns the map from a predictable road into a real-time challenge. What they're promising is a smaller world, sure, but one that's way more volatile and dramatic, where knowing the backroads might be the only thing that saves your delivery. All right, so you've got your truck and you've got the world. But what's the point? What are you driving for? The career mode is what gives the whole thing meaning, and here again, we see a big clash. With ATS and ETS2, it's all about being an entrepreneur. It's a total sandbox, a real rags to riches story where you're the boss. You start out as a driver for hire, just taking quick jobs to make some cash. Pretty soon, you've saved up enough for your very first truck. And from there, it's all on you. You buy a garage, then another one. You hire other drivers, manage their skills, and build a whole trucking empire from the ground up, one delivery at a time. It's a deep, super satisfying, and completely self-driven formula that has kept people hooked for years. Road Kings, though, is trying something new. Instead of just dropping you in a sandbox, they're going for a story-driven career. You're not just making some faceless company. You're actually playing a character, a rookie driver with a whole story to play through. The developers have talked about a world with rivals trying to swipe your jobs, allies who have your back, and this pressure from some big, ruthless corporation that's trying to take over. This sounds like a career with actual plot points and characters, where your goal is to grow from an employee into a respected owner-operator inside a story-filled world. It's a huge risk, really. They're trading the total freedom you get in the SCS games for what they hope is a more guided, more personal experience. Maybe one that can pull in players who feel a little lost in a pure sandbox. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about the rigs themselves, the chrome, the engine roar, and all the customization. When it comes to content, ATS and ETS2 are just the undisputed kings. It's not even a competition. After years of development and getting official licenses, they have a massive garage of real-world trucks from Peterbilt, Kenworth, and Mack in ATS to Scania, Volvo, and DAF in ETS2. But their real secret weapon is the absolutely massive modding community. If there's a truck, trailer, or sound pack you can imagine, someone has probably made a mod for it. This community has kept these games feeling fresh for over a decade, which means there's basically an infinite amount of stuff to download. So yeah, Road Kings is the new kid, and obviously can't compete with a decade of content right at launch. It's kicking off with some officially licensed trucks from Mack and International, and probably more to come. The whole focus seems to be on a more personal journey, where you'll start with an old beater truck and slowly upgrade it from a worn-out machine into a high-performance beast. The devs are promising some deep customization that actually changes how your truck performs, not just how it looks. And as for mods, the word is there won't be any mod support at launch. Road Kings is basically betting that creating a deeper, more personal connection with your first few trucks as part of its story will be just as cool as the giant library of trucks in the other games. So, who's the winner here? Honestly, the best game really just depends on what kind of trucker you want to be. American Truck Simulator is still the undisputed king of the open road. If your fantasy is to just cruise down endless highways, feel the weight of a classic American rig, and get lost in those huge landscapes, then ATS is for you. It's relaxing, but still super engaging. Euro Truck Simulator 2 is the champ when it comes to technical driving and building a business empire. If you love the challenge of crowded road networks, precision driving, and building a massive logistics company from the ground up in a busy world, then ETS2 is where it's at. And then you have Road Kings. It's the wild card, the ambitious newcomer, bringing a ton of new ideas to the table. Right now, it's all about potential. If you're interested in a story-driven career, a dynamic world full of danger, and a next-gen physics engine from the team behind SnowRunner, then Road Kings is absolutely the one to keep an eye on. It represents a totally different approach, focused on story and action, and it's set to launch on PC and consoles sometime in 2026. So you've got the old guard, offering a proven experience that's packed with content, and then you have the challenger, bringing a bold, exciting new vision. Look, it's never been a better time to be a fan of truck sims. But that's just my breakdown. I want to know what you think. Which sim holds the crown for you? Are you sticking with the established kings? Or are you ready to get hyped for the new challenger? Let me know your pick in the comments below.